If you have IBS, you've probably been told to eliminate foods, reduce stress, rest more, avoid coffee, avoid intense exercise. And if you're anything like me, you followed all of that advice very seriously and somehow felt worse. Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Kira, the Gut Princess, and I've been managing IBS for over 14 years. In this video, I want to share IBS advice that's very common, very well intentioned, but actually made my symptoms worse, both physically and mentally. So this is not a medical advice, it's my personal experience as someone living with IBS and also as a certified yoga teacher who works a lot with the gut-brain connection. And if you ever felt like you're doing everything right and still struggling, this video is definitely for you. So let's start with probably the most common piece of advice for IBS: over-restricting and eliminating food. I was told, and maybe you were too, that the key to manage IBS is eliminating trigger foods: gluten, dairy, sugar, FODMAPs, coffee, raw vegetables, anything irritating. And at first, this actually can feel very empowering, like you're finally taking back the control. But over time, for me, it turned into something else. Food became enemy, eating became a battle. And there is the thing that no one really talks about. IBS triggers are incredibly personal and unpredictable. Food that are known as the worst IBS trigger might actually be completely fine for you. And foods that are safe on paper might cause you symptoms. So the more restricted, the more sensitive my gut became. The more anxious I felt around food, the worse my digestion got. So what I do instead now, instead of eliminating everything, I observe patterns without panic and I allow flexibility. And I remind myself that digestion isn't just about food, it's about nervous system, the environment, and how safe my body feels when I eat. Another one, forcing relaxation. You need to relax, meditate, lie down, read a book, do nothing. And don't get me wrong, relaxation is important, but forcing relaxation when your nervous system isn't ready can backfire. There were days when sitting made me more anxious, lying down made me ruminate, trying to meditate made my thoughts spiral. So, what helped instead? Gentle movement, going for a walk, cleaning my apartment, sorting out my wardrobe. Do something simple and physical grounded me. Sometimes the best way to calm down the nervous system is movement with purpose, not stillness. I used to think that during a flare-up, I had to completely stop, stay in bed, cancel everything, rest as much as possible. And yes, there are moments and there are days when this is basically your only option, and you also need to take a sick day at work. But generally, staying in bed all day actually made things worse. I felt sorry for myself, I felt like a victim, and my symptoms felt bigger, louder, more overwhelming. So, what helps me now? Walking, stretching, simple yoga, shopping, going for coffee. Movement helps digestion, circulation, and mood. And mentally, it reminds me that I'm still capable, I'm still in control, even on very, very, very bad gut days. Another one, avoiding coffee. So let's talk about coffee. Coffee is often on the IBS no list. And honestly, coffee is the only thing that reliably gets my gut started in the morning. Avoiding it actually made constipation much worse. The key detail for me, the problem was never coffee itself, it was what I put in it. Milk is very likely to be a trigger, certain sweeteners can be a trigger, and once I adjusted how I drink coffee, not whether I drink it per se, it stopped being an issue. Another helpful advice, avoiding intense exercise. I was told avoid heat, jumping, no heart rate. But this advice didn't match my reality at all. Barry's boot camp and boxing classes are actually help me tremendously. They release stress, they regulate my nervous system, they help with bowel movement. Gentle exercise is wonderful, but for some of us, intensity is regulating, not triggering. And again, this comes back to how individual IBS really is. Drinking a lot of water. This is probably the most universal advice for IBS. And yes, of course, hydration matters, But what made a big difference for me was when I drank water. Drinking large amounts of water with meals made me feel bloated, heavy, and very uncomfortable. What I follow instead, an Ayurvedic yogic principle. Drink water at least 30 minutes to 1 hour before meals, and then wait after eating before drinking again. Wait even 2 hours if it's a real large meal. This decreased my bloating and nausea by around 20%. And if there is one thing you can take away from this video, it's this: IBS is not a one-size-fits-all condition. A device that helps one person can really harm another one. And if there is something that made you worse, physically or mentally, you are allowed to question and reject it, even if this advice is being forced on you and so multiple experts. IBS is about listening, experimenting gently, and rebuilding trust with your body again. And if this video resonated with you, please let me know in the comments what IBS advice made you worse. And please consider liking and subscribing, because it tells me that IBS content matters and it will help others to find it too. And thank you so much for being here.